Hello, WildAim here. Welcome back to SpaceChem Tournament 2013 and the Week 1 results. In Fructose Factory, the guy who designed these reactors screwed up and reversed the two inputs. It's our job to turn this mess into a workable solution. Black Wombat takes one for the team and demonstrates how not to solve this puzzle. There are two major things wrong with this solution. The first is that these Waldos spend way too much time moving when they could instead be rotating. The second, these Waldos are movable, you know. He eventually figured that out in a later solution, so I won't hold it against him this time. In any case, it gets the job done, for 293 cycles. Blue-Eyed Rat fixes the Waldo issue, but it isn't utilizing his rotates. Still, it's a fairly straightforward solution that anyone could understand. 195 cycles. It's on the low end. Viking Helmet is a good example of the standard solution. He's added his rotates, and both Waldos are almost always moving. However, he could have made a change here. 142 cycles, 24 symbols. Let's fix that for him. Alright, so it's the same deal. We're just going to take these, move them up, get rid of these synchronizes, and move over this output, and there. Same solution, 142 cycles, 22 symbols. This is, I think, the most popular solution that I saw. The blue Waldo drops its half of the fructose, picks it back up, and drops it again so that the red Waldo can rotate without crashing. This was submitted by Mr. Blarney, Little Big Dig, Content Context, and Tough Thought. Unfortunately, Tough Thought didn't make it into the top 8 due to his submission time. Laylight and Guava Moment both did a neat trick where they bonded things together sideways, then rotated from the bottom and miraculously managed not to crash into the top or bottom. You can also see that this solution includes a flip-flop delay to make up for the rotate desyncing. Anyway, Laylight's was faster due to a slightly different configuration, putting him in the top 3. Carbunk's solution net him 2nd place and is my favorite. Watch this run for a second. Okay, do you see how red and blue work together? The Waldos pass the top half between each other so they can keep on chugging along. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so who got 1st place? I'm sure you'll all be very surprised to see it's Pseudodude! Pseudodude performs a double-pumped version of the bond rotate that Laylight and Guava Moment did, putting him in the number 1 position. It has to stagger a few cycles due to those sync commands, but as you can see, it's already a little cramped together as is. 118 cycles. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Okay, Misfortune Modifier. I've already created the perfect solution to make 2 strings of sodium chloride and output them as quickly as possible. We don't even need to look at any other solutions, mine will be plenty good. Alright, so here we go, and... let's look inside the puzzle. The trick to Misfortune Modifier is that SpaceChem is bugged. You'll probably hear that a lot going forward. If identical molecules are in the input, only the first will display inside the puzzle. So, what you can take from this is, you can always look inside the puzzle. Alright, let's look at some real solutions. Ants 280 has a very slow solution, but it would definitely win an award for most straightforward. I received about 10 solutions slower than this, so you should feel proud of yourself, Ants. Vlad Antlerkov speeds things up by having the Waldos grab at every possible position before outputting. I would call it a double pump version of Ants 280s, but that's not exactly the case. You'll also notice that he could have made this into a big rectangle instead of the double rectangle. I'm not sure why it does it this way exactly, but I'm guessing that it avoids collisions or is otherwise faster. Sarah Riddler has built what we call a state machine. Basically, this solution exploits the pseudorandom input as I discussed in one of the tutorials. However, it's carrying at most 2 molecules at once, so it's definitely one of the slower state machines. GG Gall is our number 3 solution, and he is the best of the 31 cycle solutions that fill most of the top 8. My favorite thing about state machines is how much of a mess they can make. Some players aren't too fond of them though, so I'll try and discourage state machines in future puzzles where I can. Number 2 goes to Serbaldrag, who built a 7 long salt stick, followed by a 3 long salt stick. I think that once you figure out how to make a really long molecule in this puzzle, the rest is fairly straightforward. I mean, though this has a ton of symbols in it, you can follow along with what's happening pretty easily. But our number one solution goes to newcomer Darius Raider, who did basically the same thing as Cerebral but better. This one actually runs so fast that I'm out of things to say about it now, so let's just watch it finish. 29 cycles. Next is the last entry in this week's lower tier puzzles, titled Sun Simulator. I suspect that Emily Crew made this solution slow on purpose. I mean, it's absolutely faster to just cart around hydrogens and heliums in a double pumped rectangle, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. It definitely works though, so I can't give him a hard time for that. I just wanted an excuse to say 4B796C65. Another functional, but slow solution. Johann double pumped his solution in an interesting way. Despite looking like it would take forever, it's actually not so bad. He plays better than over half of the other players after all. MacFiend MGel does a neat thing where he doubles back on his path to collect hydrogens after outputting the helium. It's definitely one of the better solutions that ignores the fission laser entirely. So how could this be faster using that laser? Well, we could do like Jabor and fuse our hydrogen to make helium, then fuse that helium into a hydrogen to make lithium hydride. Lithium hydride is actually a very stable storage unit of hydrogen in the real world. It also reacts explosively with water, but we don't care so much since this is supposed to be the sun. Anyway, once you have lithium hydride, the rest is pretty easy. Split a hydrogen from the lithium, grab that, remake your hydrogen, and you've output 2 molecules. Jabor unfortunately got 9th place, just outside of the top 8. Well, at least it fits with his avatar. Guava Moment's solution is very compact. This tight loop in the bottom right corner is pretty common in a lot of the best solutions. But he did make one mistake. See this symbol here? Actually, he could have... Nah, I'm just kidding. I had you go in there for a second though, yeah? Congratulations to Guava Moment on 3rd place. The knife cuts out a few symbols by changing the path that Oswaldo takes. Instead of having to do the symbol-heavy drop grab that Guava did, he instead moves his laser and bonders up a single space to avoid all those turns. All in all, a well-deserved 2nd place. But 1st place goes to Cannibal K9. In the knife solution, his red Waldo was 7 spaces away from the first grab. For this solution, Cannibal K managed to move his Waldo 1 space forward, giving him the 94 cycles necessary to come out on top. And now for what you've all been waiting for, let's watch the best of the best duke it out in Input Island. Guy-axle rod is not exactly the best of the best, however I do like the typewriter style output that Blue is doing. Most solutions worked by building a salt bridge over to output psi, and this is one of them. CZUSW makes a pretty decent solution here, all with an input zone alpha. Though it's another slow one, you can definitely appreciate the simplicity of it. A square, a line, and that's it. Cairn also stays within input zone alpha, building a partial state machine to grab the first 2 sodium chlorides. You can see that he has red and blue work together in the tight loops to push the bridge across the gap. He also uses sinks to take care of any rotate-related timing issues. Unfortunately though, Cairn falls short of the top 8 by 1 place. Waypoint went a bit crazy on his state machine. He starts by forming a 4-long bridge, and then goes into the same short loop as Cairn. All in all, he completes in 98 cycles, grabbing 7th place. Here we are with Cerebral again. Cerebral does something really cool here. Each time Blue grabs the sodium chloride, it gets placed in an upside down configuration compared to the rest. This is one of those I could just watch run for a few dozen outputs and still enjoy. However, Cerebral has been outdone. Echo 2 has done something a little unique. Watch this run for a bit. So Echo 2 has made an extendable salt bridge to carry 2 sodium chlorides over at a time to the output. I'm not sure how you could beat 79 cycles, but Pseudodude does. I'll let you look at this for a second. Okay, so Pseudodude actually manages to take advantage of the pseudorandom input while within a loop on red, grabbing either 1 or 2 molecules at a time. That's nuts. And beyond that, he finishes it off by making a last-ditch push against the salt bridge to cram in a few extra molecules into the output zone, as seen here. But someone even managed to outperform Pseudodude. I know, I couldn't believe it either. And that person is Pseudodude! Pseudodude builds a giant salt stick, and then does that. He outputs 3, and then he outputs another 3, and then... what? Okay, let's look at this for a second. So this is another bug I was hinting at in one of the tutorials, and what I was hoping someone would do for this puzzle. If you bond and sync at the same time while both Waldos are carrying a molecule, weird things can happen. Right here you can see that blue and red are both carrying the salt stick. One of these weird things is that your Waldo performs some kind of telekinesis that links it to the molecule despite them being nowhere near each other. Needless to say, applications for this bug are very situational, like, say, a puzzle where you can't move your Waldo to the output zone. And with that, Pseudodude has managed to dominate both the lower tier and upper tier. Congratulations to everyone that has participated in this first round. You've survived many of my tricks and traps, but I'm not done yet. Round 2 is upon us. Good luck!